Yeah, all right. Little slip up right there to begin the show tonight. Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Omnibros Live on a Monday. Geo here. Welcome, everybody. Sorry, pressed the wrong button. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you to all the wonderful peeps that tune in week after week for hauls, previews, reads. I'm supposed to be joined by some people. If not, it's all right. All right. Perfect. Good to see you, Sasmerv. Give me one quick second. Give me one quick second, guys. Let me fix something here. You know what? I know somebody complained about the music, but we're gonna do it anyways because I need to give me one quick second to fix something on the stream, and I'll be with you in no time. Let's put on some lo-fi, and I'm gonna hit you with this little screen. Be right back. Give me a second. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. I had to shut off some equipment because they were disrupting the stream. Apparently, it's going to be one of those nights. Fortunately, I'm here with all of you. So, welcome. Good to hear Geo from A Week in Geekdom, getting ready to do another episode, hauls, previews, and reads. Of course, let me remind you that this show, this channel, Omnibros Live, part of the Omnibus Collectors Network, is sponsored by the folks at InStockTrades.com, your home for all things collected editions. When it comes to your favorite collected editions, whether it be an omnibus, hardcover, manga, trade paperback, whatever it may be, you get it at InStockTrades.com. Up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts tack on an extra 2% to that. And if you order on a week to week basis, you use that 2% to get even more discounts. Check the daily deals, wonderful packaging, great customer service. I won't do the mouth harp, but that is, of course, InStockTrades.com. All right. So thank you and shout out to the folks at InStockTrades.com. Yeah, Comics Guy will be with us shortly in a little bit. Hang tight. Little technical hiccups or something. I don't know. So how are you guys? It's been a minute, right? We have some pretty interesting books coming out this week. We're gonna highlight that in a second. And I saw some questions, so by all means, chat, hit us with any type of questions that you want. All right, are you here?
Well, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
You are the disembodied voice of the artist formerly known as Comics Guide. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Doing pretty well. Started off pretty interesting with some technical hiccups, but we're good to go.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. My camera's acting weird, so I'm on mic only tonight. But I'm here.
No worries. So, give me a second. Shout out to South Park Omnidog. Let's go. NFL dude, will we get reptile and food tonight? Not this week. Maybe next week. Hang in there. We're gonna make it happen, but not this week. Also, let me know, chat, how the volume is for the music. If it's too loud, I'll turn it off. I just needed that for so I could leave for a couple of seconds. So, Lou, how you been? Anything new? What's been
Man,
happening?
it's been chill. It's been a really chill week. Just kind of spending time with the family, all that good stuff.
Nice.
There's some stuff
Uh,
that I'm gonna talk about, but I'll save it for Wednesday when it's more media appropriate.
yeah. Speaking of being appropriate, did you read anything by any chance this week?
I have not done my homework, man. I have not read Reptile. I haven't read almost anything this week. I
Damn.
go through I don't know if I think a lot of collectors and stuff like that can relate, and a lot of people that read these. I will go through long stretches, maybe a week or two, of not reading nothing, and then
Yeah.
just binge a whole bunch of stuff like crazy, and just nonstop read all day.
Oh, I think we've all been there at some point. Yeah. I'm very lazy sometimes when it comes to reading. Sometimes I'll read one or two books, and then the next week nothing.
Hmm. Yeah, same. It's I think that's healthy. I think it's good that every once in a while you take a little bit of a break. It kind of refreshes your love for it because you can get burned out with this stuff.
Oh yeah. Uh, can you see the comments by any chance?
Yeah, I'm good. I can see
Okay.
it.
NFL dude says, "I feel the Reptile review is becoming the new Batman damn radio play." No, this will happen. NFL dude, don't worry. This will happen.
You you will get a Reptile review. It's
Yes.
just I haven't had a chance.
Yes. Also, for those wondering, Omnidog is feeling a little bit under the weather, so he won't be joining us tonight. Sorry. I know his vocal fan base was eager to see him tonight, but he's going to be back Thursday on Omnibros. But yeah, he needs to get that sandwich. That's what he needs to do. Ghostly, it says, it takes a lot of energy for me to read. Is it because you have a picture of a ghost, or do you really, or are you saying that it actually takes you a lot of energy to read? But speaking of energy, yeah. Also, I don't have good places to sit down and read, so I get really annoyed by that, and I end up not reading the books. I don't know if that happens to all of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Sutter got a to read pile 3 feet high. Nice. That's a good problem to have, my dude. Pass on my regards. Will do. The collector joining in. Also, shout out to everybody. I forgot to highlight the comments. I usually do this. Marvel Bab, G. Scott. Broke Phil with a question to my liking. What's your favorite manga? I'll tell you my current top 5 manga of all time right now. Berserk, To Your Eternity, One Piece, Uzumaki from Ito, and what's the other one I'm missing? I had it here somewhere. Yes, I do keep a list of these things. Oh, Pluto from Urasawa. There you go.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Those are my 5 reads.
Did he ask for top 5? I didn't see it.
No, just favorite manga. So I just gave you 5 of my favorites.
Those are good choices. I've got more of the basic bitch answers, which are kind of the common ones. You know the ones. Everybody's like, yeah, these are probably the best. For me, it's 20th Century Boys. That's my favorite one of all time. Full Metal Alchemist is my favorite one. And no, these are in no particular order, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
20th Century Boys, Full Metal Alchemist. They're okay. It's not a good one per se, but it has a soft spot in my heart. Hellsing, not a particularly high class or great. You know what you're getting when you read Hellsing, but it's fun, and that's probably in there as well. Hellsing's really fun.
Yeah, it's dumb, kick-ass fun done right.
Exactly.
Vampires killing off Nazi zombies. Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, it's dumb fun, and if you get a chance, for those of you out there, watch the Hellsing. They did a series of episodes.
The Ultimate series, Hellsing Ultimate.
Hellsing Ultimate, which is much better than the original anime release. It's far more badass what they do with it.
If you don't want to get the books, the Hellsing OVA series or Hellsing Ultimate, each episode adapts one book from the series. So 10 books, 10 episodes.
Yeah, and the thing is, it follows a pretty standard formula. Alucard shows up, people try to kill him, they think they kill him, Alucard's pretty much unkillable, and he kills them. Rinse and repeat, but it's fun.
Ghostly. My stepdad just bought a $4,000 PC for 2,000. Good job.
I could be a new stepson.
Yeah, let's go. I could use a $4,000 PC. Mine was like 500 or 600. So yeah, you mentioned FMA, you mentioned Hellsing. Any other favorite manga?
Pluto's got to go on there, right? I mean, Pluto is
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. So while I think 20th Century Boys is Urasawa's best work, I think Pluto is his most accessible and digestible, simply because it's 9 volumes, and you get a good feel of what Urasawa's about and how he writes and what his kind of stuff is through that book. I adore Pluto, and I will always remember the final panel, the final image that you get in that book is just beautiful.
Oh yeah. Recently I got motivated because Attack on Titan final season started airing. So I went ahead and finished reading the manga. I didn't talk about it on this channel, but that was a lot of fun. I loved, speaking of final panels, the final panel of Attack on Titan is probably one of my favorites.
Really?
From recent memory. It was just phenomenal. I loved it. I don't understand why people were so pissed off the finale, but I dug it.
I was going to ask you, how do you feel about that ending, considering I had heard some pretty tumultuous things in regards to where that series goes later on as to the reveal of what the Titans are and all that other stuff.
I loved when you get the reveal of what is really happening in the story. I thought it was a lot of fun and subverted expectations and introduced some really interesting concepts. And then you get a history lesson, which I thought was one of my favorite things, one of the best things about the manga, honestly. And a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, that finale, like, is it setting up something else?" I'm like, "No, it's clearly a message for you to interpret." I can't spoil it here because I know a lot of people want to read that stuff, but it was fun. It's a manga about war, genocide, wanting to be free, and not being a part of the machine, and just wanting freedom, and a lot of political messages hidden throughout. Titans eating people.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's Attack on Titan's an interesting beast. I've mentioned it before, but I think it's a victim of its own success, simply because we got that first season and it caught on like fucking wildfire on Netflix. Everybody was like, "Yo, you got to watch Attack on Titan," and then it took 3 years, I think it was, for the second season to come out.
Yeah,
and I remember starting the second season and thinking, it's kind of lackluster. This is 8 episodes of them running with horses in the woods, and I'm not really feeling this or interested in this anymore. And everybody says stick with it because it does get amazingly better, and you will dig where the series goes as far as its political commentary and what it has to say involving the characters. So it's one of those series that now that it's wrapping up, I do plan on going back when I do have some free time. Most likely it'll be this summer. Because I don't work summers, that I'll sit down and I'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna binge this whole thing and knock this out.
Definitely recommended. If you guys want to read the manga, you get the 7 colossal editions. If not, you get the anime, which is 4 seasons, around I think it's gonna be 90 episodes total.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad, all things considered. I want to go through it and finish it up. I've heard great things, that it's worth it.
Solid. Tolga, thank you for joining, buddy. How is the Ghost in the Shell series? Not the movie or OVA. You talk about the manga. I prefer the animated stuff. I think the animated stuff is better story-wise than the manga, in my honest opinion. Especially standalone complex. That's my jam.
You want to know something about me? I have never... Okay, the only Ghost in the Shell thing that I have seen, and I'm sad to say this...
Live action movie?
Is the live action movie. I'm so sorry.
I mean, the manga is great and the art is legendary, but you get so much more out of the TV show. Yeah. And a lot more cyberpunk and politics and just a bunch of great storytelling. That the manga, it was just 3 books, if I remember correctly, 3 or 4, and that's it.
Mhm.
I definitely enjoy the series, the anime stuff more than the manga.
Mm. Okay. Yeah.
Tasty Melon. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I I I remember finishing up that movie and going, I kind of see why some people are pissed off at this. At the big reveal at the end
Yeah.
of the movie. I'm like, I kind of get it.
Yeah, it was not that great. And I'll be honest with you guys, I own that movie simply, to have the complete set of Ghost in the Shell stuff. I have the anime, I have the manga, now I have the live action movie. But I bought it from a secondhand seller on eBay. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Tasty Melon is asking, what do I need to read to understand the Batman Who Laughs? You need to
Oh,
read
shit.
the DC Metal event, the first one, because he gets introduced in that one, and I think you're good to go from there. Because then he pops up on the regular DC universe, and he also has his own solo series. But start with the DC Metal event, and even the DC Metal event has a required reading thing beforehand that you can look up. Okay. Simeon says the art in Ghost in the Shell manga is worth studying if you're into line art. Again, the manga art on Ghost in the Shell is fantastic, one of the best, legendary. So yeah, I highly recommend it just for that. Oh, Roberto, thank you. Read Dark Knight's Death Metal. There you go.
There's so much of that stuff. I mean, I appreciate Snyder for what he is. I just couldn't make heads or tails of that metal stuff simply because there's too much.
I finished DC Metal, and then I started reading the books that expand from that. The Justice League Odyssey. It was like 4 different series. I can't remember right now, and that's when I dropped it because then it just started getting too convoluted for its own good. And then they did the sequel to Metal, and like I don't care about this, guys.
Yeah, after a
But
while, after a while, the shit just starts feeling like homework.
yeah, because then you had to read all the events, and then you had to go to Justice League, and then the spin-offs again, and then Snyder led it up to the second what is it, Death Metal event or whatever. I'm good, guys. Yeah, I'm staying away from the live action Ghost in the Shell. Don't like Scarlett Johansson. Fair enough. Standalone Complex is terrific. Yeah, that episode with the kid. I remember when that aired. Everybody was like, "What? What just happened?" Yeah, but we can talk about that another day. Snyder's events on DC are extremely hilariously convoluted. They start out with simple, awesome ideas, and just they don't need to be that convoluted, but they do. And the end result, I don't think, is as strong as the premise or the beginning of the story.
I think because Grant Morrison is clearly one of his inspirations, right? I think he pulls a lot and tries to do what Grant Morrison does, only I don't think he's as good as Grant Morrison is with that stuff, because Grant Morrison, 9 times out of 10, he'll go really left field and he'll rein it in and tell a pretty competent story where at the end of it you go, you know what? That wasn't that bad. That was actually pretty good. That made sense at the end. And you can get kind of lost in that. I think that's kind of what happens with Snyder, where he's not a terrible writer by any means. He's a very good writer, but I think he gets lost in his own storytelling sometimes, and it's like, you need to rein that in.
And now he has so many different series, right, on Comixology. I think it's 5 or 6 new series with different artists.
Something like that. Yeah, guy writes a lot.
Snyder trying too hard to be compared to Morrison. Yeah. Hell, even his Justice League is a bit out there. I never finished that. Yeah, but it looks like it. Ghost in the Shell live action movie is 10 times better than anything is better than Dragon Ball Evolution, James. But I agree with you 100%. Or or the editors are like, be more like Morrison. That's also a thing that can happen. Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that happen.
I can see that.
Yeah, so speaking of, you guys got any more questions, leave them in the chat. I only got one book that I hauled that I want to show you guys.
Okay.
It's something of a tiny little whale of mine, I guess, if you can call it that. It's not a graphic novel, so settle down. It's a manga, but it's something that I'm very passionate about and I really love, and I'll talk about it at length some other time because it's a pretty it's a heavy subject and too dramatic, and I don't want to talk about it here because I'm going to bum everybody out. But I finally was able to get the first release from Drawn and Quarterly of Gegege no Kitaro from Shigeru Mizuki. This is out of print, and it's not necessarily the hardest thing to find, but everybody on, I think the only site I could get it from was eBay, and everybody was asking. This book was retail. How much is it? $27, and people were asking online $60 to $70, which is just wrong. I'm not gonna. If I'm gonna pay above cover price, it has to be maximum of 10 to 15 for me to feel okay-ish about paying that much. But you're asking way too much. $70 for this book is no, thank you. So I could have waited maybe for a reprint. I remember asking them or emailing them, and I got no answer. So I was just looking on eBay and finally found a copy right here. Now, the thing is, this was laminated to hell and back. It had stickers all across the spine. It had, I think, like 3 stickers in the back, and in the front, I think it had something down below. It even had something here in the middle that said like manga with the most generic font imaginable and an anime guy drawing or something. And even the insides were glue, had like some kind of glue in them. The French flaps, I can't. It even still has the sticker, which I can't get off because it's going to rip off the cardstock, unfortunately. And the flaps are glued, and I can't do anything about it. I'm really annoyed by that. My OCD is going into overdrive with it. But the important thing is that I got it. This is one of the greatest manga characters of all time that you've probably never heard of. He is the last surviving member of the Ghost tribe. He's a ghost boy, and he is sort of the mediator between Japanese yokai and humans. Yokai interfere with humans. Sometimes they might cause problem.
Oh.
Sometimes. Sorry about that. Kitaro steps in and saves humans from all that stuff. And yeah, just I don't know if you guys can see the art. Let me highlight myself for a second here. There we go. Here's some of the art. Now the thing with Mizuki is that not only was he super talented, but as you can see, he was a hell of an artist. And he was able to combine great backgrounds and character designs with cartoony expressions and be more of a cartoonist instead of a regular mangaka. Because this is getting more into the Gekiga movement of manga. For those that don't know, Gekiga is sort of more adult oriented, and by adult I mean more serious and mature topics. And the art is unconventional compared to Shonen Jump and stuff like that. And here's a good example. As you can see, look how detailed the backgrounds are compared to the characters right there, which look pretty cartoony. And that is a distinct art style for Mizuki. He was a war veteran, and one of the things that I find fascinating about Mizuki is that he friggin' lost his right arm and had to learn to redraw with his left arm and replicate his style entirely. So he was able to do that. That is amazing. So yeah, one of my favorite creators, and I was missing this book because I do have the other Kitaro books, the smaller sized ones, but those are select stories, and this has a bunch of other stuff that was not included in the smaller editions. So I was missing that to have a complete set of North American released Kitaro stuff, because there are a lot more books out there in Japan, but they haven't been licensed yet. So I'm just waiting. I could import them, but they're expensive. I'd rather wait to see if they Drawn and Quarterly gets more stuff. But yeah, finally got Kitaro, the oversized edition. Really excited about that. And as for reads, I started reading this. Chat might know. This is Planets. This is from the same author that does Vinland Saga. However, this is a manga set in space with a cleanup crew cleaning up debris and all the space junk that we have up there. So, hey, you got the camera back.
There we go.
Everybody, all right, I'm going to highlight you so everybody can see you right there.
Hey, how's it going?
So, yeah, Planets, look forward to a video on it soon on my channel. I'm reading this. A lot of fun.
Okay. So, I mean, to import all that stuff, if you so chose to do that, what are we looking at as far as cost?
Most of the manga of the Kitaro adventures could be cheap, like $20. Okay. But Mizuki worked on a lot of stuff. He passed away at the age of 99, if I remember correctly. Yeah, a couple years back is when he passed away. This year would have been his 100th birthday. Right? Was it that? Wait, I need to check that again before I lose my street cred. But he worked on a lot of Gekiga series with different publishers and magazines. And a lot of that stuff is not available because for however many years, people thought audiences outside of Japan, specifically North America, the US, were not into that stuff, were not ready to consume that type of material, so they never bothered seeking out that license for North American release. And everywhere else in the world, especially in Europe and South America, everybody knows about Kitaro, except a lot of the people here in the States that are pretty clueless when it comes to that character. And he's one of those founding characters of anime and manga fandom because he's been around since the 60s and 70s. He's had like 7 different anime adaptations. There's a movie coming out soon. And here in the West, it's like it never happened. Everybody was, Tezuka books or like Toriyama, and they skipped all the Mizuki stuff. He also had a lot of art books and encyclopedias on yokai because that was one of his specialties. He's known as the grandfather of yokai in literature, and none of that stuff is available. And I wish it could be because I want it. And a lot of those books, you're looking at minimum $60 or $70, at most 120, maybe close to $200. It depends on the book. But there are a lot of art books and tomes that I wish I could get.
This sounds honestly like a really deep rabbit hole that somebody could fall down if they were really like a hardcore collector, because we love our out of print stuff. We love the stuff that's hard to get. I think there's something special about that. And as much as I hope a lot of this stuff is readily available, because I think it's cool and you should be able to share it, I also like that feeling of, damn, I got something special.
By the way, Mizuki passed away in 2015 at age 93. So yes, this year would have been his 100th birthday because he was born on 1922. I do have a pre-order on Amazon because Drawn and Quarterly they haven't announced it, but it's the solicit is on Amazon for a Mizuki 100th project. It's called like a hardcover. I don't know what it's going to be about. I don't know if it's a tribute or like a huge art book or something. But I already pre-ordered it just in case. I don't want to miss it. So I'm excited for that.
What was it? When was he born? 1922.
Yeah.
Just think about that, man. Think about everything he saw. World War II, Vietnam. He lived through, so many. And it's not like he was old when World War II happened. He was in his 20s.
He participated in the Pacific War and lost his arm in combat. And he made manga about the atrocities of war and how he did not want to see future generations for them to experience that stuff. So he has manga based on that. It's drawn cartoons are super like hyper realistic. And he also has manga that I want to get, which is the Showa series, which is him explaining the Showa era in Japan in manga form in like 4 big editions. That's something that I should be trying to get soon for my collection.
Wow. Yeah, this guy, I know next to nothing, but as you keep telling me this stuff, I'm becoming more and more fascinated with his life and just the amount of.
Yeah. I don't have the book here with me. There's another book called Nanonba, which I featured on the channel before. I love that story, the premise of that book so much. It's basically him recounting the tales that his grandmother back in the day would tell him about yokai and ghost stories and all that stuff. So he wrote that down as manga for future audiences to enjoy. And I love the idea that you're taking stories from your childhood and your grandma and all that stuff and passing it down. And the book is just a treasure. I love it.
Yeah.
Some of the appeal is the hunt for something they're hard to find. Yeah. If you import the manga, would they be in English or Japanese? Some of the Kitaro manga volumes are actually published in Japan in dual language, which is one of the rare versions of manga in Japan. You can still get it and read it in English. And the art books, you're out of luck. Those are all full Japanese. So you would have to get, with your phone, you use Google Translate or whatever. Frisco, thank you for joining. Gio, I love Urasawa manga. Do you have any other suggestions similar to his quality? If you can, similar to Urasawa, any Inyo Asano book, you're going to get deep psychological examinations of characters. Dead Demons is a good book. It's kind of wacky, but it's good. Good Night Poon Poon can be super depressing and dark, but I think it's a worthwhile read at least once in your life. Go to check it out. Yeah, go with Asano. That would be my suggestion.
What about in kind of a more fun way, Case Closed? Because I personally have never read any of it, but I do remember waking up super early and it was showing on Cartoon Network when I was a kid.
Case Closed is a lot of fun. I've never read the manga, I have to admit. That's something that one day, if I do have more shelf space, that's something that I would like to get. I would love to have just a shelf for Case Closed because it's going on close to 80 volumes at the moment because it's still ongoing.
Yeah.
But I would love to own that. That's a great series. He's Kitaro is the Aquaman of manga. If you mean an awesome badass character that gets overlooked by general audiences, then yeah. Oh, stickers. That's when I was talking about this. Yeah. I hate that stuff. I hate when you laminate books because I couldn't find it from any store, so I had to get it from an rental copy from a library or something. The pages are a little bit yellow, but whatever. I got it it was $27. I think I got it for $30. I'm not gonna complain. I get to read it, and it's pretty good, in pretty good condition. I'm looking for a panel here that I want to show you guys. Yeah, here it is. Here's the cover of the book. The scene is taken from this panel. Let me highlight myself.
I love the art.
Yeah. So that is Kitaro and the Kitaro family and all the characters. So if you love Japanese folklore and monsters and ghouls and spooky stories, you're gonna love Gegege no Kitaro. Really cool stuff.
I love the art. This is. I might be going down a rabbit hole. I need to stop because I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, man, it just absolutely fascinates me. And I love
most of that stuff. I think you can find on some of the drawn and quarterly books are available digitally that you can read.
Okay, cool.
I think you would like it.
Yeah, I love yokai. I like that whole concept of demon mythology and spirits and stuff like that. So that's right up my alley.
Get, if you can, there's also a book called Onward Towards Our Noble Death, which is some of his experiences with World War II. So I do recommend reading that as well. Oh, Marcelo, don't give me hope. What are you doing, buddy? Yeah, did you see the Aquaman Deluxe is back? It's now scheduled for November. I need to look this up real time. Give me a second here. This is breaking news for your boy.
You're giving the man hope, so I hope you're right. Ghostly, could you highlight that one real quick? I bought Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, I bought Powerpuff Girls 10th anniversary complete series DVD box set, super out of print and expensive on eBay. I had no idea that a DVD box set for Powerpuff Girls is going for so much.
That is insane. A DVD of all things.
Well, Powerpuff Girls, people underestimate Powerpuff Girls was super popular, even with guys back when it aired in the mid 2000s, early 2000s. It was a fun show. My wife has a Buttercup tattoo. Fits her personality well.
Oh, nice.
That's why she got it.
The 80 years anniversary. Well, now I'm a little less excited. That's the greatest hits book of stories. But the thing that was cool about it, it was the size of an omnibus. It was deluxe, oversized deluxe edition.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm good. I don't like the greatest hits stuff. I have almost everything collected edition, so I don't know. Unless it has new stuff that's never been collected, maybe I'll get it. I don't know. Let's do some previews while we're at it. We're at the halfway point, guys. Let's start with DC. Okay, can you see that? I think you can. Let's do this. There we go. Man. Okay, so a lot of single issues, a lot of Batman, of course. Okay. Sorry, this is not the list. My bad. That was from last week. There we go. Still, nothing's changed. A lot of Batman. You know, that happens week to week. Just look at that. Batgirls, Batman and Scooby-Doo, Batman, Catwoman. That's too much Batman. Anyways, here we have Batman trade paperback volume 2, The Joker War. Coming out, collecting Batman issues 95 to 100. More Batman, Black Manta. These are all single issues. Here's my pick of the week. This is the book you need to have in your collection. I have the 2 trade paperbacks. I don't know if I'm going to upgrade or not, but if you've never read it and you're thinking to yourself, a Flintstones book, yes, a Flintstones book. It is amazing. Mark Russell hit it out of the park. This is a wonderful reinventing, if you will, of the Flintstones. This collects 12-issue series and the Booster Gold Flintstones special #1 with a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. So yes, deluxe-sized or oversized hardcover for this book. I wish they would do that for the other stuff from Hanna-Barbera, honestly.
Yeah, that's my pick of the week. I haven't seen anything else, but I'm gonna give it that simply because It's brilliant. There's so much commentary about it, and it's Mark Russell doing what Mark Russell does best. I remember when they first announced DC this reboot of like the Hanna-Barbera stuff, where you had different writers and different artists kind of coming together. I was like, this sounds dopey. I don't want to read this stuff, and a lot of good stuff came out of it. I would have liked to have seen an ongoing, but hey, I think what is this 12 issues? Yeah, it's 12 issues.
Mhm.
It's a pretty quick read, and you're gonna get a lot of laughs out of it, and it's easily some of the most brilliant stuff that's been written in the last few years.
Oh yeah. I wish they could do Future Quest. Is the other one I want to see in oversized, because that had Doc Shaner artwork, and it's a great story with all the superheroes from the Hanna-Barbera universe. So if you like Flintstones and you want to read something else from the Hanna-Barbera Beyond line, I would recommend Future Quest, Snagglepuss, and the Jetsons.
Yeah, I never read the Jetsons. Jess swears by it. He says it's brilliant. So
yeah, it's a lot of fun. I liked it a lot. Snyder, Justice League by Scott Snyder, Deluxe Edition, hardcover book 3, collecting issues 26 to 39 of his run. And I believe that's the end of it. So it's pretty cool to get that set of Justice League in Deluxe Edition.
Man, art by Jorge Jimenez, Bruno Redondo. Man, that's a who's who of artists that he had on that book.
Yeah. The one thing that Snyder got was great artists all throughout his books. And is there anything else? No, there's not. Oh, Monkey Prince is coming out. I need to read that.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So let's go into the other stuff. Oh, my bad. There we go.
I like how DC all of a sudden is pushing Peacemaker. I'm like, nobody gave a fuck about Peacemaker before James.
No, nobody cared about that. Even the hardcore DC fans didn't care about Peacemaker.
No.
Snagglepuss was fantastic. You damn right it was. Okay, so Image Comics. We got Savage Dragon, Vicious Circle Triumphant coming out. Trade paperback. Stillwater from Chip Zdarsky and Ramon Perez, Volume 2. This is something that I'm fond of. Trover Saves the Universe. I love that game. So I'm very interested to see what they do with this title in comic book format. The game was super fun. It's from the same creators as Rick and Morty. So if you like that type of humor, I think you'll be right at home with Trover. Dark Horse, Children of the Woods. This is a Cullen Bunn book, right? If I remember correctly.
Oh, that'll probably
No, it's not. It's not. My bad. No need to correct me in the chat. Children of the Woods. It's a tale of revenge leads to a monstrous outcome. Amber and Quinn pay the price for power and magic as they become the newest children of the Black Woods. So that's pretty interesting. Crema from Joni Christmas. Critical Role Mighty 9 Origins, hardcover. House of Lost Horizons, Sarah Jewel Mystery, hardcover. Interesting. Hyperscape, trade paperback. Jenny Zero. And I know a lot of people are excited for this. The Madman Library editions are finally continuing. So here we have the second library edition. I know a lot of people bought that first one. And Malika Warrior Queen Volume 2. Never heard of that in my life. I'm sorry, but this does not look like a Dark Horse book. This looks like in the other section when I read off the different indie publishers. Note this: if you like Malika, let me know. But this just looks so weird as a Dark Horse title.
I'm genuinely surprised that every month that Dark Horse is still publishing stuff out, other than the Black Hammer stuff and the Hellboy stuff. I'm really surprised at that, man. Because you just don't hear people go, man, I really love buying Dark Horse books.
Yeah.
And it's not a slight against them. Dark Horse has great stuff. It's just I have to wonder how they're even operating.
Mm-hmm. Well, you saw the news that they were bought off by the video game company. So yeah, I can't remember the name of the company right now, but they found a buyer for them.
That's
Rangers of again. What is this? Rangers of the Divide from Dark Horse. Looks cool, but I had no idea this was from Dark Horse. IDW, just one book. John Buscema's Marvel Heroes Artist Edition hardcover. Marvel Comics, Daredevil Epic Collection, Heart of Darkness. I know a lot of Daredevil fans are excited for that. The Excalibur Omnibus is finally coming out with 2 covers, regular and variant. Hellions from Zeb Wells, Volume 3, trade paperback. Kang the Conqueror, Only Myself Left to Conquer, trade paperback. Marvelverse Moonworld, this is digest sized for young readers or new readers. The Mighty Marvel Masterworks Amazing Spider-Man hardcover volume 23, DM variant edition of issue 315 with Hobgoblin. And another omnibus, Star Wars Legends Rise of the Sith omnibus. It's got 2 covers. And if it's about the Rise of the Sith, I don't care about this cover. You need to have the one with Darth Maul in it. Just saying. Like, I don't care about these 2 clowns, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. If it's a Sith book, you got to get the one with the Sith in the cover. Boom Studios. Yeah, go ahead.
Darth Maul, I've always put him in that category with Boba Fett, where it's like he's just a cool-looking character, and nobody's really done much with. He really is. He don't really have a personality. And hold on. I know what people are going to say in the chat in a minute. Yeah. He doesn't really have any personality in that movie. He just looks badass, and admittingly, he has probably the best scene in that first prequel movie. Part of that is due to John Williams' score, because come on, John Williams. But they owe so much to Dave Filoni for what he did with that character in Clone Wars and all those other spin-off series.
Oh yeah, and some of the comics flesh him out a little bit. But would have that luxury until now that he has a mini series. But I could see. I see what you mean. Yeah. So if you want to learn more about the Sith and Spider-Man and Star Wars comics, get this omnibus right there.
Can I just real quick? I just love the fact that Boba Fett doesn't even have his own show anymore. It feels like halfway they started filming, got halfway through, and said, "This isn't working. Let's bring the Silver guy."
Hot take. I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want Mando 2.5 to happen. I was really disappointed when they did that.
It's Mando 2.5. That's what this season is. It's pretty wild.
It's cool. I like it like everybody else, but that's not what I wanted to see. I didn't sign up to watch Mando 2.5.
I have never seen a show pivot so hard halfway through a season where it is clearly no longer the titular character's show anymore. I'm telling you, it really does feel like they got halfway through the season and they realized this isn't working. Let's bring back the Silver Guy and the Green Goblin, and we'll go from there.
But we'll talk about that Wednesday. more
Oh yeah,
indie.
absolutely. Which I love last week's episode. I know. We'll talk about it Wednesday. Sorry.
Boom Studios got a couple hardcovers. Firefly, Spark Within, Spark Within, for a Spark Within the Forge, In the Ashes, original graphic novel, hardcover, volume 2. Jesus Christ, that's a long title. Wind. I hope I said it's Wind, right? I don't know. Wyand, hardcover, book 2, Secret of the Wings, and manga and other stuff. I covered the manga stuff in previous episode. If you want to check it out, Riley. Random House Graphic has Across a Field of Starlight graphic novel in softcover and hardcover. Alley Oop and Dinny. Unless it's Alley out of print and Dinny. Then it would be pretty interesting. Nonetheless, book 1. Graphics has Aquanaut graphic novel. Arcade World graphic novel, chapter book, hardcover, volume 2, Zombie Invaders. Archie Jumbo Comics Digest number 327. Babysitter's Club, Baby Teeth. Because, of course, from Donny Cates, here's what you do. You read Babysitters, and then you move on to Baby Teeth, Antichrist.
Mm-hmm.
Great pairing right there. Blade Runner box set from Titan Comics. Manga, more manga. Source Point Press, Dead Hand book stories from Gravesend Cemetery, hardcover. Also, if you're a manga fan and you like Marvel Comics, Deadpool Samurai is out. You can get that. Far Out Classics, Frank and Stain. I see what they did there. Juggle Book. Journey to the Center of the Earth. War of the Worlds, Unicorns versus Mermaids, Far Out Fairy Tales, Flash Gordon Dailies hardcover, volume 8. Yeah, a bunch of kids' books and young adults, manga. He-Man for younger readers. Grancha, more. Yeah, these are all manga. Magical History Tour, Gandhi, volume 7. Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal. I know a lot of people are excited for this. If you like Garth Ennis, I do think it's maybe not safe for workish. I'm not too sure. There was something in here that I know a lot of people would be upset by. I don't know what it was.
This is Ennis?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's most likely not safe for work.
Yeah. She's a temporal criminal. What more do you need to know? There you go. From AWA Upshot or AWA Studios. The hell is this? This isn't a comic. This is live action stuff. Anyways. Memories from Limon. Metax from Fantagraphics. Heavy Metal, Never Ever trade paperback. Night Hunters trade paperback. No One Knows from Black Panel Press. Manga, more manga. Ghosts, new printing of Ghosts. A lot of people like that, and it's one of the best sellers overall, right? From Scholastic.
Mm-hmm.
Reborn as a Barrier. No, that's a manga. Sorry. Rick and Morty, Rick's New Hat trade paperback. School Bites Deluxe Edition, Studio Edition. Manga. A lot of manga, guys. Squidding Around. Prank You Very Much. Ollie and Bea, Wise Quackers, Squeals on Wheels. It's all good. Bats what friends are for. I love these puns. I'm sorry. I love a good pun, so I want to read it. If you're displeased by that, you're pretty grumpy. I like reading this stuff. Where else are you going to read a book that says Wise Quackers? Yes, please. Swords of Cerberus in Hell, Volume 10. I don't know what that is. Manga, and that's it. So if I were to recommend a book or a couple books to buy, I like to do that at the end of previews. I would think. Don't get any of this. Deadpool Samurai, that's a fun one. From Marvel, get. I'm not big on X-Men. Sorry, guys. Kang the Conqueror. That's 2. And the Madman, which I read in the chat, already came out. So some websites, maybe previews, IST and else are getting it at a different time. I'm pretty sure it's going to be there tomorrow. And get the what was the DC book that we talked about? The Flintstones book.
Yeah.
Those would be my recommendations.
Yeah. So my choice would be the Flintstones book, simply because of what we talked about.
Yeah.
If you have the first 2 volumes of Snyder's Justice League, I don't see why you wouldn't get the third one. Wrap that series up.
Mm-hmm.
What else was there? You know what? I'm an Ennis fan.
Marvel.
No, I'm a huge Ennis fan. So now I didn't even know this was a thing. So I'm gonna go with the Marjorie Finnegan temporal crime thing, whatever. With the caveat that don't read this around your kids. Okay, this is.
It says here she's Marjorie Finnegan. She's a temporal criminal. What more do you need to know? All Marge wants to do is race up and down the time lanes, stealing every shiny, gleamy, pretty, sparkly she can lay her hands on. But her trail from the Big Bang to the 95th Reich has drawn the beady eye of the temporal PD, whose #1 deputy marshal is now hard on our heroine's tail and taking things extremely personally. Worse still, Marge's worthless creep of an ex and his even scummier partner have seen an angle of their own in all of this and now intend to use her time tech to change history for their own benefit. Marge's only ally, a guy called Tim, and he's just ahead. I mean, come on, what use is just ahead?
It sounds like
the description.
that sounds like 100% an Ellis story.
Garth Ennis and Goran Zuka.
Ennis, my bad.
And Miroslav Mrva. Probably butchered that.
Yeah, no, that's Ennis all the way through. So I'm gonna be probably happy enjoying it, while everybody else is gonna be like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Deadpool manga is as manga as Arcane is anime. What's that? Yeah.
He's not far off. I gotta watch that. Everybody talks about Arcane and how good it is. I need to sit down with that.
I haven't seen it just because it's League of Legends and I could care less about League of Legends, but people said it's perfect if you don't care about League of Legends. So I'll watch it eventually.
Yeah, I couldn't give a shit about League of Legends. To me, the only thing I know about League of Legends is there was that one weird kid that brought his laptop in my college course in the back of the class, and all you would hear in the middle of class, all you would hear when it was quiet is because he kept clicking his mouse trying to play League in the middle of class. And eventually the professor just flat out told him, "Don't bring your laptop next class."
Oh, Simeon, my man, just order a copy of Nanonba. Good job. Dark Horse is also going to be releasing all the creator Benda stuff. Powers in particular is supposed to be soon released in library editions. That's cool. For all the Bendis fans, that's a nice series to get.
Couldn't get into Powers. Found it boring.
You remember when it had that show on PlayStation Network, of all things?
Oh my god, yeah.
The only way you could see it was through PlayStation Network.
It had
that
one
did not
season.
work out for them.
No, it had one season, and I heard it wasn't even that good.
Yeah, that and the Robert Kirkman comic. I can't remember the horror one that wasn't Walking Dead.
Oh, Outcast.
Outcast. That also had one season and it did poorly.
Yeah,
that was airing on Stars, I think. Stars, yeah.
Yeah, that was a mistake. That was your first mistake. Kind of like Deadly Class airing on Sci-Fi. I was just thinking the minute they announced that, I thought this is only getting one season. This is a horrible mistake.
Crazed says, very good. I'm not into League, know nothing of it, and enjoyed it very much. There you go. I guess we have to see it. I don't care about. I was gonna read like LOL, but no, League of Legends. But enjoyed Arcane. There you go. All right, 5 more minutes, guys. Shoot us with any random questions about anything, life, food, games. I don't care. Whatever you want to ask us. Just a heads up. This week on Wednesday we'll do media night, talk about any comic news and TV and movies and games. And then Thursday we'll have a comic book episode with good old Omnidog. And of course, let me remind you guys that all these wonderful previews that I highlighted, you can get them tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at InStockTrades.com, our official sponsor. InStock Trades is your home for all things collected editions, whether it be an omnibus, library edition, hardcover, even manga. You can get it by visiting InStockTrades.com. Up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts tack on an extra 2% to that. If you order $50 or more in your order, you get free shipping. Fantastic customer service and wonderful packaging. That's InStockTrades.com, the official sponsor of Omnibros Live here on the Omnibus Collectors Network. Also, we have a Patreon, right? We can plug that.
Yeah. Patreon.com/omnibroslive. $5 a month gets you access to a Patreon hangout where Gabe and I kind of shoot the shit with a whole bunch of you. We had a very good turnout last time. Yeah, you can find that link down below in the description. On top of that, it gets you a whole archive of videos that Gabe and I have done with fans. So literally at this point, hours and hours of content that you guys haven't seen yet. So if you're a real diehard fan and you want to join us, or you don't, and you just want to help us out, that link is found in the description down below. $5, guys. Can't hurt.
Nice. Is mayonnaise an instrument? If you want it to be, yeah, sure.
It can be.
What's the best meal you've ever cooked? I helped make a sweet pad thai once.
Ooh.
But I'm not the biggest cook in the world. So, yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I really can't say because
Probably one of your burgers. Those are legendary.
Oh man, those are good. I'm predominantly the cook in the house because I get home earlier than almost everybody else. So I'm the one that does most of the cooking at night. I don't know. Yeah, the burger stuff that I used to make was really good. I haven't done one of those in a while.
When is the next campfire?
So the next campfire, I got to get with Gabe and figure out a specific date for that. I'm thinking maybe this Saturday. I don't know yet. If not this Saturday, then most likely it'll be next Saturday.
Frisco, have you guys checked out Sifu? Sifu? I don't know how to say it. On PlayStation. Very cool game. It looks really cool. That's the martial arts game, right?
Yeah. I love the concept of it. There's too much stuff coming out this month, though. So something's got to give. And Elden Ring comes out on the 25th of August, which I conveniently... Yeah, I conveniently am scheduling a dentist appointment so I can get the day off from work for that day as well.
Yeah. Also, Horizon the week before on the 18th. Horizon Forbidden West.
I'm holding off on that. I'm going to try to hold off on that simply because we know Sony's going to... This is probably stuff for Media Night, but we know Sony's going to be putting out their version of Game Pass soon. And that stuff is going to be on there. So I'm kind of not really quick to jump on any first-party Sony stuff right now. I want to see what they do with that.
I'm going to wait a little bit, probably a week or two, and see if somebody decides to sell it on eBay for less than retail price, because PlayStation games do not hold their value. Give it a week or two, and from 60 or 70, you can get it for 40 or 50 easily. So
Yeah.
I'm going to wait a bit.
Yeah, if you wait about 2 months, you could probably get Horizon. If you're like me and have the digital version of the PS5, you could probably get that thing for about 40 or 50 bucks if you wait about 2 or 3 months, because they drop their prices on that stuff so fast, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, the only thing that holds its value are Nintendo games, first-party Nintendo games. I like this comment. Mayonnaise slaps. That it does. Although I'm not a huge fan of mayo, to be honest. What? No. Leave it like that, James. A couple got caught being naughty at Disney World. Disney sees all.
It's true.
Oh, I did not know about that.
Yeah, Disney sees all.
Yeah, both Elden Ring and Horizon look really good. Don't tempt me on that, because it looks awesome, but I can only get one, and I'm a huge fan of Aloy and Horizon. So.
Oh, it's no contest for me. If I could only get one, it's Elden Ring. I adore that stuff.
Mike F., do you think Scott Snyder's Justice League will get an omnibus treatment? Yes. Will it happen soon? No, I don't think so.
Nope, I don't think so.
He himself has been saying, Metal's going to get an omnibus, and that was like 100 years ago when we used to have more Omnibros on this show, and it did not happen. It never happened. So I think it'll be random as hell. One day we'll get a catalog update and Snyder Omnibus or whatever. Tasty Mullen with the jokes. I'm not gonna highlight it, but that's funny.
I liked it. Yeah. I liked the joke.
Let's see. We got one more minute, so we're gonna go ahead and start locking up. Thank you, chat. Thank you so much for tuning in to another fantastic, wonderful edition of Omnibros here on the Omnibus Collectors Network. I already told you the details. We'll be back Wednesday. My channel, So We Can Geek Them, where I talk about anime and manga. Subscribe if you can. Help a brother out. Comics Guide, where can people find you on the internet?
Comics Guide 101 on Twitter and Comics Guide 101 on YouTube, where you can see an archive of old videos, and on Twitter you can just hear me ramble about stuff randomly.
There you go. Nice. Well, that's it. Thank you to our wonderful sponsor. Thank you to everybody in the chat. You guys are fantastic. I love every single one of you guys. We'll be back Wednesday night. Stay safe and keep reading those books. We'll be back on Wednesday. Cheers, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Oh, Ghostly. Did you hear about the claustrophobic astronaut? I heard he just needed space.
That's adorable.
Love it.